The sad fact is, the facts have never mattered less than they do today. We're living in a time when truth has been so diminished in value that even those at the top of government are quite comfortable with truth being whatever they can convince people to believe. That is what I find wildly unacceptable.
Little truth from Raymond Reddington. It's just a TV show, right? What's going on, guys? Make You Electric, Sunday the 24th of March, 2024, as I'm gathering links together for this week. This may be a long one, maybe an emotional one, as I found myself in tears many times as I see reality turned on its head. And the only thing I could think is, we said this was going to happen. We said this was going to happen. Oh, they don't call us crazy anymore now, do they? No. Let's get into some of the headlines. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. I didn't post anything last week because I ran out of time, and there really wasn't too much to talk about other than the normal. But this week, more the same, sadly. Did you know that fasting, those of you who fast, for health reasons, and, I've experimented with it myself, it will make you have a heart attack. 16 more hours a day fasting risks you dying heart attack and cardiac problems. COVID vaccines, however, cut the risk of virus-related heart failure and blood clots. Study finds. Brazil's ex-president indicted for falsification of his vaccination status. Why? Safe and effective. What do you mean? Ask Kate. Former NHL player dating tennis star dies at 42, mysteriously, suddenly. Doctors are baffled. Homeless people dying 8 times the rate of pre-pandemic. I remember seeing campaigns about, get out and get the homeless vaccinated and all this. Remember all this? World population to fall. Oh, this was one that I shed a tear over for the first time since the Black Death. We said this was going to happen. Written very clearly on the Georgia Guidestones before they were blown up. It's happening. Everything we said was going to happen. From baby boom to bust, 75% of West faces underpopulation by 2050. Fertility rates plummeted across the world. We said this was going to happen. Listen to this. Disturbing. Pregnant American mothers now dying at alarming rates. A little bit of this.
We now have, in a paper by Hoyert and colleagues from the National Center of Health Statistics, record maternal mortality. Starting in 2021, it's going up. It's erased 4 decades of progress in obstetrics. Pregnant women are dying with the baby in the womb.
This is not conspiracy theory any longer. This is reality, and we said this was going to happen for years on end. But let's get into some other news. Donald Trump campaign asked patriots for money to save Trump Tower. Oh no, from witch hunt. They're trying to take his real estate away. Trump, legal news brief. Trump's media merger may unlikely stop Loretta James from Target. I guess they're trying to take his... I thought he settled this. I guess this is something else. I don't know. I'm not keeping up with it. From the man who brought us Operation Warp Speed. You get a dime from me. Here we have Alexandria Cortez in a heated thing. Has Joe Biden committed a crime?
Did you witness the president commit a crime? Is it your testimony today?
Yes.
And what crime have you witnessed?
How much time do I have to go through it?
It is simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
Corruption statutes, RICO and conspiracy.
What is the crime, sir? Specifically.
You asked me to answer the question. I answered the question.
No.
RICO, you're obviously not familiar with. Corruption
Excuse
statutes.
me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. RICO is not a crime. It is a category. What is the
It's a category of crimes that you're then charged
You
under
have charges.
But see, he'll never be charged with a crime. How many crimes was Hillary Clinton guilty of? Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, all of them. Speaking of Obama, what was he doing over there this week?
With David Cameron. Lord Cameron is not in the meeting.
Weird.
Oh, there he is, just leaving.
Yep, with the
What was he
US
discussing?
ambassador there, Jill Hartley.
A lot of people speculate that he's still in charge.
Do you have a few moments?
I don't know. Over to financial news, we're going to get into some more of that. We predicted this stuff in a minute. How major U.S. stock indexes fared on. Oh my God! Did you see the Dow almost crossed over 40,000 this week? Wow! On Friday, however, the Dow Jones fell 305 points. Before the week, it was up 761 points, closed at 39,475. I don't think it ever quite crossed that 40,000 mark. Wouldn't surprise me to see it happen next week, though. Put a link to the market recap data. Congress announces last-minute deal to avoid government shutdown. I wonder what all goodies were swept into that. I think another 6 months or something. So toward the election time, we're going to run out. Government's going to shut down. Imagine that, the timing. Breaking news. Yeah, heartbreaking news. 28 major companies have quietly begun gearing up to hire and support the massive influx of illegal aliens. Joe Biden, companies are getting rid of people so they can hire illegals. There's a lot of this kind of stuff going on. This multi-million-dollar fund manager ditches Tyson Foods for saying meat giant is sacking U.S. workers. They've quite literally said that out loud. Put a link to that. Digital ID, another thing we said was going to happen. The West Australian government is offering families one-time cash payment to claim their digital ID. Got another one on this. The reality of a cashless society appears inevitable and we said this was going to happen.
While no one has banned us from using cash,
but we were crazy.
Cash seems to be increasingly difficult.
Customers in some locations can no longer withdraw money over the counter.
In the last 6 years, 60% of ATMs in Australia have completely disappeared.
Not just Australia.
ATMs in
this is going on all over the world.
The whole of Australia.
It's a big idea.
There are
a new world order.
5,500 ATMs.
Did any of the people that called us crazy even consider 1% that maybe we might have been onto something? Other news, Apple sued in landmark iPhone monopoly. I saw this week. I didn't quite understand it. And I'm not sticking up for Apple, but if you don't like Apple products, don't use their shit. I don't understand this monopoly thing. There are other choices, but whatever. Chinese auto executive says bloodbath coming for American auto industry. I think he was just playing off of what Trump said this week about bloodbath. And that's all over the media, so Google that if you don't know that. Millions of seniors, am I reading that right, behind on student loans, risk losing Social Security. Lawmakers warn Biden. I don't think Social Security will be around much longer anyway myself. California, you want to move out of California, they're charging residents who want to leave the state with an exit tax. I would say kiss my ass. Pfizer, struggling 2023 CEO, had to take a 35% pay cut. Oh, he's only getting 21.6 million. But don't worry, because they've invested heavily in cancer drugs because they have some inside information about what may come in the future. I'm sure he'll be right back up there in a couple of years. And Planet Fitness stock plummets after women's membership canceled for taking picture of man in a woman's locker room. Yeah, people are fighting back. They're going to find out just like Bud Light. You don't have to give these assholes your money. I mean, you don't like Apple because you think they're holding you back on their... You know what? Don't give them your money. You don't like Planet Fitness because there's wangers on the Glass Dialana Club or whatever. Don't give them your money. Very simple. Over to New World Order and Police Day. Newswire Stop Ask, please share the report. There's a lot of stuff coming up. I may get emotional. I don't know. Supreme Court opens new frontier in insurrection claims that could target state and local officials. Yeah, they're going after more people. If you speak out at all, you're going to be an insurrectionist. It's very similar to what they're doing in China. Chinese arrests jumped nearly 50% have been clamped down on hostile foreign forces. They don't like people thinking for themselves when they're making arrests. Listen to what the justice had to say.
So my biggest concern is that your view has the First Amendment hamstringing the government in significant ways in the most important time periods. What would you have the government do? I've heard you say a couple times that the government can post its own speech, but in my hypothetical, kids, this is not safe, don't do it, is not going to get it done. And
Ministry of Information, I believe, is what she's talking about there. Yeah, watch the movie or read the book, 1984. It's all right there. Elon Musk, SpaceX secretly building a huge spy satellite network for the U.S. government. Well, I like Elon Musk and some of the things he has to say, but yeah, what do you think this is all for? You think this is so he can just create his own global internet? What do you think this is all going to be used for? You want to talk about a prison planet. Those of you, maybe into the law of attraction or frequencies, know that our bodies and our brains transmit certain frequencies. What happens when you build a Faraday cage around the Earth and we can't reach the universe anymore? Some of you know what I'm talking about. I'll link to that. NYU professor claims homeschooling being used to indoctrinate kids. Cheers, public schools. Yeah, you talk about reality being on its head one more time. In fact, more information coming out about a secret LGBT club in Elk Grove. The school requires permission slips for all clubs besides this one. Yeah, tell me how homeschoolers are indoctrinating children. We got immigration news. Did you catch the madness going on at the border? Now, this is not old video, just a little grainy from whoever posted it, but check it out. Our border is being invaded. They are actively fighting the Border Patrol and the National Guard down there. Did you see this? Yeah, this happened this week. Look at this. What do you do when your country is being invaded by foreign forces? TikToker, he's going viral telling you how to invade American homes. I think I have the right to come here and tell you to leave your home because it's my home now. Tell you guys are going to find out the true meaning of the Second Amendment. Supreme Court allows Texas to enforce immigration law, but this was struck down immediately. That will not be tolerated, and that's back on hold. Mexico says it will not accept migrants deported under Texas new state law. I didn't know we were asking for your permission. Couple more here. Elon Musk posts devastating ad. Here, check a little bit of this.
The Democrat open borders plan to entrench single-party rule, explained in under 2 minutes. 1. Flood the country with untold millions of illegals by land, sea, and air from all over the world, enough to eclipse the populations of 36 individual U.S. states so far. 2. Prioritize the needs of these millions of non-citizens over the needs of the American citizen.
The video goes on, and it's nothing but the truth, but I'm kind of concerned that they don't take the time to mention the New World Order or the North American Union, the Security and Prosperity Partnership, the true meaning behind, the fact that Canada, the United States, and Mexico will be ultimately merged in the end. We need to go more into that. Some people aren't ready to hear that. Then I got one at the bottom. 200,000 immigration court cases dismissed because DHS failed to file paperwork. All's going according to plan. Over to World War III news. Operation Blackjack hits right off the top. Everybody knows about this. Russia says 60 dead, 145 injured in concert hall raid. Islamic State group, meaning the CIA, in my opinion, claims responsibility. I heard there were like hundreds dead. So here's the mainstream article here. I'll put a link to a GLP thread with more information, all kinds of video. Attack of some sort by someone over there in Russia. Of course, Putin went on TV and, sort of blamed Ukraine. Didn't really say it that way, but these guys were headed toward you. I think they have these guys in custody, so we'll see what comes of that. U.S. Embassy warned Americans to avoid Moscow concert weeks. Yeah, they did. Remember, I reported that a couple weeks ago. We sure did. Did we know something was coming? Illegal immigrant. Here's just a side note. From Lebanon, caught on border, admitted he's a Hezbollah terrorist hoping to... I'm not even going to say that out loud. Yeah. Who knows what else come across? This is just one guy. Put a link to that. Putin warns of full-scale World War III if West sends troops to Ukraine. All kinds of World War III talk this week. In-game, my buddy F-Town over at In-Game W3 tweets out, NATO alliance is ready for conflict with Russia. NATO Military Committee Chair says, follow In-Game on Twitter for updated World War III news. The man is the news. F-Town, I love you, bro. Hope all is well. Put a link to that. U.S. top senator tells Ukraine to draft younger soldiers. That's from RT. Meanwhile, U.S. Army... publishes utilization of the Army Reserve retiree recall program. So because enough young people aren't joining the U.S. military. Russian defense minister announced they've created 2 new ground armies. I'll put a link to this info here. Meanwhile, 1/3 of U.S. military families now recommend a life. Wait a minute. 1/3 of military families now recommend a life in uniform. Okay, 1/3. Members struggle with shabby homes, schools, and hospitals. Yeah, deepening Pentagon recruitment crisis. That's why they're calling in the retirees. Young people don't want to be in the military anymore. Schumer rejects Netanyahu's request to talk to Democrats as Israeli leader addresses the GOP. So we got Israel news. I got one at the bottom. Be advised, we got this on top of everything else. World on the brink as Taiwan admits U.S. troops are now stationed on the Chinese border. I don't know. I saw this from a couple different sources. Take it for what you will. Over to Earth changes in 2012 news. I got the earthquake monitor set up for 6 points and above. For the past week, we had the big 7.0 yesterday. Papua New Guinea. I saw 1 or 2 tsunami markers going off. Didn't seem like much. Another 6.9 was reported just before that. A 6.5 on the 22nd. 6.0 on the 22nd. I'll put a link to the earthquake data. I do have an update. The Iceland volcano erupted again. Spews lava, cuts off road. Hey, I mean, how do you clean that up? Look at that. Look at. Imagine the distance of road there that's been. I mean, you can't really. You just got to kind of get out of Mother Nature's way. You're not going to fight it. Climate report issues red alert warning after record-breaking temperatures caused by misery and mayhem in 2023, says Sky News. Biden administration is set to finalize major car crackdown over warnings from automakers and energy. Yeah, we're going to go more electric cars. We're going to get all the gas cars off the road because we have the electrical infrastructure and the battery capacity to fix this with batteries. Oh boy, Tennessee, talk about more things we said would happen. State Senate passed a bill that would ban spraying of chemicals for geoengineering in our skies. Whatever do you mean? What do you mean? What would I tell you if this has been going on for the past 20 years or so? I'm crazy. Thick black smoke out of a New York high-rise near the World Trade Center. Something caught on fire on the roof. Oh noes. Not a terrorist attack, but everybody was concerned of what's the smoke in Lower Manhattan. I don't know. Rochester schools shut down. Residents told to boil water after adult male body found in local reservoir. Ugh. Put a link to that. Oh my God, the eclipse doom is all over the internet. If you haven't seen it, this is interesting. Eclipse path is identical to 16,000 lightning bolts. Yeah, this is the path the eclipse coming up in April is supposed to take, right? And I got a second link on this. This was the local weather guy. Yeah, isn't that kind of strange and weird that all these lightning strikes right along the line from northern Texas all the way up to New York State of where the eclipse is supposed to be? All these, I don't know if it's connected. I have no idea. Be advised, Ireland's prime minister steps down. Is this why people are continuing to, is there something big about that? Is that what's going on with Kate? Do you think she has cancer, or do you think it's just a cover story? I don't know. We'll get into that. A couple more here. Blood Moon, March 25th, will happen about the same time as the Devil's Comet becomes visible to the naked eye. I don't know what any of that is. And we have a new update on MH370. New theory suggests the pilot deliberately buried the plane in ocean trench. Has anyone checked out Diego Garcia? That's what I really want to know. Sorry, I talked so much there, my throat went dry me. Over to strange and bizarre news. We got some disturbing stuff coming. I'm just going to kind of rush through these because I don't want to comment on all this stuff because some of it really upsets me. Jacksonville Beach shooting leaves 1 dead, 3 hospitalized. We had a shooting at Jack's Beach.
Jack's Beach right now.
Where's the video? I'll put footage on this. I don't know, people running all over the place. Put a link to that chaos going on down there. We got a guy freaking out on it. Listen to what, I love how this guy says, you all people are trying to stop me or something.
Tough guy, bro?
Yeah. You want to be a tough guy, bro?
I'm moving. Hey, you know what and stuff?
He said, I'm trying to get home.
Like you're cleaning up. You see how most of the people are white here? Yeah, so you were like, I'm trying to get to my home country, and you all people made it harder for me to get to my home country. I'm telling you.
Who the hell is us people?
No. And this white hair guy is taking...
This white just tapped this guy on the head. Look at this.
Sir?
Go up to the front.
Sir.
Yeah, go outside. Come on.
Hold on, let me
This is the big guy.
Hey.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
Are you gonna chuck me?
No, we're not gonna fight. We're gonna go here.
Yeah, it's about to get real.
I didn't get in your face.
Daniel,
You told me to get out.
311.
I would take it. Yeah, I would take it.
Go
ahead.
No.
Let's
go. Hey.
You don't push me.
311.
Up.
Now let's go. Okay.
Up.
311.
There it goes.
311.
You started it. So this devolves into craziness where they drag the guy off the plane up with craziness in the skies. Texas man boarded a Delta flight using photo of another passenger's ticket. I didn't know you could do that. TSA not check tickets anymore? I don't put a link to that. Speaking of the airport, executive shot in firefight with federal agents at his home. And this guy, the executive of like Clinton National Airport or whatever it is, I wonder who he pissed off or what he knows. More to the story than AOL is telling us, I'm sure. We got an update on Mitch McConnell's sister. Apparently she was drunk when she drove into the pond. another cover story, or did they take her out? Did she know something? Am I just reading too much into it because I'm a conspiracy? I don't know. Put a link to the article. We got BLM chaos breaks out at University of Memphis after BLM chased down, what is it, TPUSA, Turning Point USA, Kyle Rittenhouse event. Of course, they don't like that, so we had madness down there. We got this here. Now, the title is Illegal Alien Picks Wrong NY Woman to Attempt Person Act. I don't know if that's what actually happened, but she does kick this guy's ass. Say I'm sorry. I mean, I don't play too much of it because it gets a little graphic, but and she kicks his ass right. Shout out to her. Deadbeat mom caught on camera speaking of purses, pushing daughter to steal purse in a restaurant. Sure enough, she tries to get her little girl. This is what the world's coming to. Another mom left her toddler alone in a playpen while she went on vacation. Gets life sentence. I think the toddler died. I'm sorry to bring you such upsetting news. I mean, Student pressured by his friend to get his legs amputated for a $1.3 million insurance scam wound up getting $7,200 and now has to return. That's all your legs are worth to you is $1.3 million? Moron. Put a link to that. We got, this guy, inside the dark world of, look, the moment a gay man on a mission to get HIV reveals he liked it when men he slept with texted him to reveal he had AIDS. I have no more. I got one at the bottom. Let's top this off with trans activists. Here.
I know you're not talking to me. Are you talking to me?
Sir.
What?
You called me sir.
Sir? Is there a reason you're calling me
the same he, she, it that got on that maintenance guy's case a few videos back?
Do I look like a sir?
Do they all sound the same?
Well, you have multiple people talking that you're misgendering or intentionally. You know what you're doing. You know you're on a public sidewalk. Don't touch my shit. Don't feed me. Don't touch my shit. Don't be a disrespectful person.
So you go forward. She ends up going in the restaurant and causing a huge scene. That's all the news I got. For more news, check my favorites. We got all kinds of stuff with that. Putin vows to punish those behind directly. His statement there. Hey, look at this. Kate Middleton receives first COVID vaccination 2 years ago. 1 day ago. It's been a huge shock. Princess Kate undergoing cancer treatment. I don't know if the two are related. Probably not. I don't want to give you any sort of misinformation here. NYC woman beaten, stuffed in a bag by squatters. Dimcad's got one. World population. I mean, yeah. Many of us talked about these things. There's only a handful of us left. Where the fuck did everyone else go? That's what I want to know. Yeah, it pisses me off. There's only a handful of us still here. NYC councilwoman flips out. Donald Trump calls into a meeting. That one's pretty funny, actually. A homeless man paralyzed, legs amputated. After arrest, they put him in the back of the van because he was a vagrant, and they tossed him around, and he ended up... Man, I hope he gets millions and millions out of that. All kinds of fresh news. There's another insider exposes April 8th. Another doom about... Check my favorites. All kinds of fresh news there. Thank you to everybody still posting content. Keeping everyone informed. I appreciate the people that are still around. I really do. I want to end it with a couple shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to Elon Musk, actually. I watched this interview that he did with Don Lemon. I mean, it's over an hour long. I've watched it like 3 times now. I enjoy listening to Elon speak. I do, even though I know that ultimately the agenda is going to go forward. The way that Don Lemon tries to manipulate him into censoring himself, he's just not. I'll just play a little bit of this here.
Everything in it. Do you think if you moderated yourself?
This comes up so many times in this interview.
Better content moderation
Elon's just like
on the
freedom of speech, man.
That you wouldn't have
Don
to
Lemon
answer
doesn't
these
understand what he's
from
saying.
Reporters about the great replacement theory as it relates.
I don't have to answer these questions.
Great replacement theory as it relates to Jewish people. Do you think that?
I don't have to answer questions from reporters. Don, the only reason I'm doing this interview is because you're on the X platform and you asked for it. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I would not do this interview.
So you don't think? Do you think that you wouldn't get in trouble or you wouldn't be criticized for these things?
I'm criticized constantly. I could care less.
You don't care.
No.
I mean, Don brings up the fact that he takes medication, and Elon goes into the fact that he suffers from depression sometimes, and I really connected to that. I suffer from depression myself. You guys see me in a 20-minute video once a week. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Some days I struggle, and yeah, I connected with that. It's a powerful interview. I just had to give a shout. Whether you say, "Oh, you're giving a shout out to Elon Musk," well, go fuck yourself if you don't like it. I'm telling you that I think the man is genuine in what he's saying in that interview. I really liked it, and I wanted you to hear about it. Shout out to California squatters taking over people's homes. Well, you got the squatter squad. Look at this. Squatter squad.
Show me you're on the lease.
They're going in because a lot of times people are taking over properties. It's happening all over the United States, and a lot of times the police will tell you there's nothing they can do. It's a civil matter. You have to go to court. Now, these guys are kicking doors open. I guess people hire these guys to get these people out. They go in and they kick these people out of these houses that they don't belong in. I would assume that the property owners have to sign a waiver saying that they're not responsible for damages. But
get your dog.
Yeah, they're making a successful business out of it. I just want to give them a shout out. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you like the report, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, if you don't like what I'm saying, give me a thumbs down. I don't give a shit. I'm going to say what I want to say. So some people, they try to censor me. The past few reports, people are saying, oh, you said you shouldn't say this and you shouldn't say the F word and all that. When I flow when I do these. I don't read a script to you. I try to keep it in check because I try to be respectful of people who don't want to hear bad language. But I'm not going to censor. If it comes out, it comes out. I'm not going to edit it. Deal with it. Or don't watch. You can support me on Patreon or directly with DonorBox. I put a lot into these reports. It's becoming more and more difficult for me to do them because I'm spending so much time. I've got so much crap to pay for now to try to keep things going in my life. I would really appreciate any support if you like the reports or just pass them around. I would love to have, more viewership. All the years I've been doing this, it surprises me that, how much I'm ghosted and censored everywhere. If I made videos about kitty cats and rainbows, I'd have billions of subscribers. All my links are at the bottom too. The Rumble, the BitChute, the Gab. Make sure you're following me other places in case the YouTube channel goes down. I don't know. So many times this week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, I'm in tears, crying. I'm reading headlines, and I'm thinking to myself, we said this was going to happen. We said this was going to happen. It's everything we said. And if we've been right about that much, then imagine what else we may be right about. I didn't want to be right about any of it. And as I sit here, just a side note, I always have EMS and the fire department in my city going on the scanners. That's what you're always hearing. People are always I hear people talking in the background. I'm surprised you don't know by now that those are my scanners going. You know how many times I hear the word heart problems come across the scanner every day? They don't even call it cardiac arrest anymore. They call it heart problems. Any of you people live in big cities that might monitor scanners hear the word heart problems all day long? We said this was going to happen. You guys take care, stay safe, remain vigilant. I love you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the week. I hope everyone has a good one. I will see you on the next one.